What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. I am your host and captain, Garrett Morling, and here in the virtual studio with me is the one, the only, JJ Purdom.
Yeah, but Garrett, you said, remember, we talked right before we started the show, and it's good to see you this week, Garrett, here in the virtual studio, as opposed to the physical studio that we once shared until you didn't pay the rent a couple of months back. You said that we were going to, that's not how it happened. That's how I remember it.
Yeah.
You said that we were going to start off the show with letting me start and letting me tell the listeners and the viewers of the Super Gamer Boys that I am the host, and the voice of the Super Gamer Boys. And
that's
and,
not
also the
not
captain.
Exactly,
I wanted to be captain.
Not exactly how I remember it.
I got the captain hat.
I see you kind of have a captain hat. I don't see a captain hat. I kind of feel like you have a little bit of a nautical theme going on for sure.
I
like
do.
Those colors feels very like beach house, where I'm currently in a garage. Not very beachy here.
And this is actually the mast. This is the sail to the pirate ship that I am currently in right now. And it's just, you can't tell because the ocean breeze is coming in. It smells like rotten fish, and for some reason, a slight odor of farts. And I mean, extremely slight.
What could that be though? Like, what do you think's causing that? That seems like a concern, like maybe something wrong with your sewage on your ship there.
No, it's my kids are in the next room, and I've been feeding them cabbage all day. Cabbage is very inexpensive.
They say, cabbage a day keeps the scurvy away.
I understand that they do say that about scurvy and cabbage, and I'm not one to. I'm not a doctor. I don't really know if it does keep it away, but it does bring the farts. So just, in case you don't know, this is a gaming podcast. Once again, we are the Super Gamer Boys. I'm JJ.
This is your first and foremost. This is the number one nautical podcast online.
This is the number one nautical naughty podcast. I don't know. Can we actually say that? Technically, are we allowed to call ourselves a naughty podcast, or then do we get put into like a different category?
I think
I'm worried.
I have to put the explicit tag on the podcast if we call ourselves that.
You know what's funny, Garrett, is that it's not the first time we've had explicit put on our podcast for different reasons in the past.
It's happened
for some of the
once before.
Yeah, some of the things that Garrett says, they just happen.
Yeah.
And he did make that formal apology, and I think you've grown as a human being and as a man. Since then.
I try.
Thank you, Garrett.
Oh boy.
You know what you guys should try in case you haven't. Once again, we are the Super Gamer Boys, and unfortunately, not with us this week is the amazing nerd dad Zechkin, and he unfortunately he got arrested. Apparently,
walk the game.
He walked the game plank, and that's it. We hope to see him. He is swimming with the fishes right now, so he'll come back hopefully next week, and he might be a little fishy and also technically have a very slight smell of farts about him. So if you want to
probably a peg leg.
well, that just goes without saying. If
Should
you
we
guys
just become
want
a pirate podcast, I just want to become a pirate. Can we just become an all-out pirate podcast? Can we just play Sea of Thieves all the time on Xbox and computer? And
we don't play Xbox, Garrett.
But that's what I'm saying. Should we switch right now and just start a Sea of Thieves podcast where we can just talk about pirate stuff?
I would love to be a pirate. I mean, I've always wanted to make people walk the plank. I'm down. So if that's what you want to turn this into, Garrett, you are the captain. So
trade in your PlayStation tomorrow and buy an Xbox and get some Game Pass. Sea of Thieves is on the Game Pass.
I can't do it, Garrett. Look, I can't. I would love to do a pirate thing with you. I'd love to do the Xbox thing, but I can't because I am currently embroiled in Last of Us 2, and there's no going back, man. I can't go play what? Forza Horizon? It ain't gonna happen. Halo? It ain't gonna happen, buddy. Once you've had Sony, you don't go back. God, that doesn't even rhyme, man. That doesn't even rhyme. Okay.
Once you go,
you know what?
Yeah,
if you guys want to have nautical fun with us, or if you want to have naughty fun with Garrett, you guys can do so by supporting. Wait, that didn't sound good, Garrett. You might want to edit that out later. Let's work on it in post. You guys can support us on Patreon by going to patreon.com/supergamerboys.
Yeah, you can look down in the description of the episode here. You can see a link down there. Click on that. Or we post about it every week. I'll do a post saying that our early and ad-free episode of the show is available early for those Patreon supporters. So we'll talk about it more later, about some of those perks that you can get, like that episode. But shout out to our Patreon supporters here. We have a Patreon producer, Adrian, the Homeboy Holmes. And our Patreon sponsors, Bill Bird, Julie Bates, Dustin Long, and Brent Fox. Thank you guys so much.
Absolutely. I like to normally tease all of the people that support us on Patreon. And I usually say wholly inappropriate things about Grammy and her cookies. But I'm not going to do that this week. I'm going to be completely professional, and I'm going to just keep those comments to myself. Plus, I'm very concerned that they're going to take the money back. And I really need the money to keep coming in, because I'm playing Last of Us 2 right now. We'll talk about it later, but it's all thanks to those Patreon supporters. So thank you guys. And I won't say anything about Grammy and Grammy's cookies. Do you pick up what I'm saying when I say what?
Stop talking about my grandma's cookies, please. And let's talk about our Super Gamer Boys giveaway.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's even better than cookies. That's better than cookies, Garrett. And how can one go and get the prize for the giveaway?
So we have a giveaway we announced 2 episodes ago. Or was that this last episode? No, it's been a couple episodes, I think. You can go to supergamerboys.com/giveaway to find out how to enter. But I'll give you a quick rundown right now. Go to our profile at Super Gamer Boys on Instagram. This is Instagram only, and that's only because legally, some of the other social media sites are a lot harder to do giveaways on. But yeah, on Instagram, you can go ahead and give us a follow there at Super Gamer Boys. Oh no, JJ's gone. I'm going to continue on here. I'm going to keep going, telling you how to win the giveaway, even though JJ disappeared there. Follow us at Super Gamer Boys on Instagram. And then what you're going to want to do next, he's back. Like you never even
I'm
left.
sorry. Technically, I had a problem because I had to stop and go get actual legit cookies out of the oven. I'm sorry about that. And then I'm so
now
excited.
You're throwing your phone around.
Sorry about that.
So yeah, you can you got to follow us on Instagram. Second thing you're going to do, you're going to post a selfie, and what you want to make sure to do is tag us in the photo, and most importantly, the hashtag Super Gamer Boys giveaway. That way we can see all the entries at the end. July 15th is when we're going to be doing a drawing. So a selfie is going to be you, obviously, with your favorite game. So you can put on a little Post-it note, a little postcard. You can print out a picture. You can hold the game case. You can hold up your console, your Xbox, your PlayStation, your PC, whatever you want to do. Just a picture, or even a little action figure, whatever you want to do to represent that game that is your favorite. Go ahead and take a selfie with that. And yeah, put it in the description, share it on your feed. And then, like I said, July 15th, we're going to pick a winner. And then on the following episode, we will be announcing it. So make sure you're listening into the podcast because that's where we're going to be announcing the winner. I'm excited.
Yeah.
And the prize. We haven't even said the prize. What's the prize, JJ?
Okay, so that's a great point, because originally we wanted the prize to be for that $50 giveaway. I come to your house for 1 full week and I eat everything in your house. Now we're talking clearing out the fridge, pulling out whatever you got in the freezer. But apparently the guys told me no, that's not appropriate. You cannot go to people's home. And apparently that's due to the COVID. That's due to the COVID, the coronavirus. We're trying to respect you. We're going to wear masks if I do happen to come to your home for whatever reason to eat your food that has nothing to do with the Super Gamer Boys. I just like to show up at people's houses and eat their food. So what the actual giveaway is for the Instagram giveaway is, again, hashtag Super Gamer Boys giveaway. And what that is a $50 prize, a gift card towards whatever system you use. Now, whether that's Steam for PC, whether that's PlayStation Network, Xbox, whatever it is, Nintendo Switch, even if it's anything like that, we'll make sure that it goes in the direction.
Those four platforms pretty much. So Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, will be giving you a $50 gift card towards that. Yeah. So
if you play video games on your toaster, so we will actually buy you a $50 gift card for your
Bed Bath & Beyond gift card. You can go get toast.
Yes, it will. Bed Bath & Beyond. They have nice candles. So I mean, if that's most of them, and they cover up the very, very slight fart smell. Just saying.
Cool. I think it's time for the nerdy nudes.
It's time for the nerdy nudes.
Alrighty, guys, let's get to it here. The first news story is written by Alyssa Mercant. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I apologize.
I do love your pronunciation.
I'm just not good with
reading,
with words in general. Both.
Thinking.
Yeah, all three of those things. Yeah. Okay, you can stop. You can just stop now.
I had more chambered actually.
I know, that's why I just shut it down. Ghost of Tsushima has gone gold ahead of its July release. Like I said, this is coming from Games Radar over there. Alyssa, thank you so much for writing this little article. Sucker Punch announced today that Ghost of Tsushima has gone gold ahead of its July 17th release. Going gold means the game is ready to be pressed onto a master disc for mass production. Sucker Punch shared the announcement on its official Twitter account, along with the adorable collage of the developers working on Ghost of Tsushima from home due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And so, on Twitter is a little picture of a bunch of selfies from people working at home to finish up the game, which is crazy. Imagine finishing up this AAA Sony exclusive title from your living room. Who would have thought?
Or your garage.
Or your garage, wherever, just like me. That's where I do my business, apparently. The hotly anticipated Samurai Epic went gold just a few days shy of its original release date, June 26. As Games Radar previously reported, Ghost of Tsushima was pushed to July 17th back in the late April as a result of the team having to adapt to the working conditions set forth by COVID-19, which I actually never knew that. We never talked about on the podcast. I don't know if we missed that news article or maybe it just wasn't as widely known. But apparently it was supposed to come out on June 26 and got pushed to July. So I guess it wasn't a very public thing because I didn't really hear other podcasts talk about it either. So it is ready to go, which is exciting because I know through this whole time with COVID, obviously games have been delayed. I guess apparently Ghost of Tsushima before, Last of Us got delayed, some other games. And so it's definitely always a worry. Okay, is this game actually coming out or is it going to get pushed? And we've already had a state of play a couple weeks back about it. The game showed 18 minutes of gameplay, showed off a bunch of the cool features. So it seemed pretty certain it was probably coming out in July, like they said. But it's just always exciting. Time to celebrate and be like, heck yeah, they finished. Finished in quotes. Finished in quotes.
Yeah, I think it's crazy that it's already gone gold. It's I'm actually really excited about this game. Not so much as Last of Us, obviously, because I've got that fever. But I watched the 18-minute trailer and I loved it. I think that this game looks gorgeous. I think that Zetch is a huge fan. I think that this was one of the games that he was hoping to pick up, as I recall. Am I right in that?
I think so. Yeah, I feel like he's gone. I feel like he's gone back and forth a couple times. He's excited about it, but I think he's also said, I think he's more curious to see how it reviews before maybe picking it up. Because we're also doing the giveaway next month, so we won't be able to buy him the copy of the game, at least when it first comes out. So maybe that'll be we'll give it a couple weeks, let people put out their opinions, and that might be one we jump on, so that way we can talk about it on the show. But even after that PlayStation, what the heck do they call it? PlayStation State of Play.
The State of Play.
After they did that State of Play, even I was kind of like, okay, this looks like, I don't know, I just love the aesthetic of the whole thing, the minimal HUD, going on. Like, okay, there's not a map. Like, you're literally guided by the wind. Like, you just watch where the wind blows, or like you see a little like animal run out, like a little rabbit or a fox or a bird, and just like follow it. Nope, that takes you to your next quest. Like, there hasn't been too many games like that just like totally blacks out. There's no HUD, no infos or maps or anything on your screen. Like, other than there's a couple little instances in God of War, I feel like, or I think you can turn stuff off. I guess The Last of Us does that, which gives it that very cinematic feel. So that's what I'm like looking forward to with Ghost of Tsushima. Like, when I do eventually play it down the road sometime, it's just for it to have that cinematic feel. Like, it'll be
it's
kind of cool, I think.
It's very different from, say, like a Red Dead Redemption 2, where you're seeing where you're going the entire time. So I think it looks really great. I think it'll be a really neat feature to not have the HUD.
Yeah, and even just the whole aesthetic and like the like samurai, like feudal Japan kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, that seems pretty cool. Like, you can either be the honorable samurai or the little more kind of dishonorable like ghost, I guess, is what there's kind of the idea behind it. Is like, okay, this is the wrong way to go, but you can do it. Like, if you want to be essentially a ninja, like lurking in the darkness and on rooftops and taking down people, I'm like, that sounds awesome to me. But we will see. The next news story here is I know, JJ, you probably won't have much to say on it, but I just want to bring it up because I mentioned last week.
Are you kidding? I recall that I sent you this news article. So I don't know where you're at, but didn't you get all the news articles I sent you about this week? Because I know like sometimes you don't have time to.
I totally read those over. I looked at those. I got that email you sent.
Yeah. So.
Or text.
Or
phone call.
Sure. Yeah, that too. Yeah, and I sent one of those as well. So this next news article, ladies and gentlemen, we're very excited to announce that Pokemon, I don't know, they did something. You know what? Why don't you? Because I sent it to you. I don't have the form in front of me.
Right.
I know that
you just had had the one digital copy of it, and you sent it to me. So
that's what I did, and I did not.
You didn't make a photocopy of it, so.
I had perused it, stayed away, and then I'll elaborate from there.
Okay, are you back? Your audio just went totally crazy. It like froze for a second, and then it sounded like you were like talking at like 2 times speed, like really fast.
No, it's because I was so excited about Pokemon. So that's what I did. I was so excited. So I said, why don't you go ahead and just talk about the article that I sent you digitally, and then I'll expound on that and my thoughts and my feelings upon the Pokemon, whatever I sent you.
We'll do that. How about that? So this one comes from Steve Watts over at GameSpot. And the reason I'm bringing this up, because last week we talked about, they had the Pokemon Direct where they talked about Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Cafe Mix, Pokemon Smile, a bunch of kind of anywhere from awesome Pokemon stuff to whatever Pokemon stuff.
Hey, Garrett.
Yes, JJ.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Hey, hi, JJ. I'm your co-host. You're on the show.
Yeah.
Did we really talk about Pokemon last week?
Yeah, we did.
How come I don't remember any of that?
Because I think you black out through most of it.
I pretty much do. Okay, carry on.
So yeah. Anyways, right after they did that announcement at the very end, they're like, oh, by the way, we're coming back next Wednesday and we got something cool for you cats. And everyone's like, awesome, great. This is going to be something cool. If they're doing a whole separate Pokemon Direct, it must be something awesome, right? Like,
wait, so they said Pokemon and cool in the same sentence? Get out of here. Cut.
They did.
Garrett, I'm the one who says funny stuff. Knock it off. Don't even try. That's not your wheelhouse, my friend. It's not your wheelhouse.
Right. So anyways, people were hyped out of their mind. Like, and it makes sense though, because it's like, why, if they just had one more thing to talk about, why wouldn't they have just talked about it at the Pokemon Direct that they were currently having. Why wait until a week later? So it's got to be either another, people were thinking, oh, is it going to be another entry into the Let's Go? Like they came out with the Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee a couple years ago. Is it going to be, the next iteration of that? Or is it even more DLC possibly, like some bigger DLC for Sword and Shield? Well, instead, they came out with this. This is from Steve Watts over at GameSpot. Pokemon Unite, that's a new game, is a new MOBA-like game with crossplay on Switch and mobile.
What? So dude, how exciting! That's... Wow! Dude! Bro! Dog! Yeah! Whoa! Cool!
Not so much.
Nice!
No.
Dude, do you even know what a MOBA is? Do you like even know? I mean, you want me to tell? Because I could,
go ahead.
If you want. Yeah, so a
What is
MOBA
it?
game, that's pretty popular. That's it's a monster of big asses. That's monster
close.
of big asses. Yeah, it's like if you okay, look, if you have a lady, we're not gonna, it could be a man as well. Let's not be misogynistic. It could.
No.
What?
Okay.
Well,
so Pokemon Unite is a new MOBA, a multiplayer online battle arena.
That's the next thing that I was going to guess. That's oh my gosh,
yes,
you know what?
Exactly.
I'm embarrassed because I was just about to,
Yep.
I swear, dude, it was on tip my tongue right here. And I was just about to say that. A mobile online battle arena. Wait, what did you call it? Battle arena? Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Multiplayer online, yeah.
That's
so think of Dota, which is like the game made by Steam. Think of League of Legends, made by Riot. It's exactly a Pokemon version of that, which sounds terrible because it's on Switch and mobile devices. It's not even like a PC game.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. Go. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
I was actually talking about how nerdy and horrible MOBAs were, and you're making fun of me for making. So you like them?
No.
You like? Oh, okay. So you're the
nerd. I love those games.
Cool. Yeah, that's what it seems like, because I was just saying how horrible it is that it's a MOBA and it's on Switch and mobile, and you're calling me the nerd. So I think
you're being super meta when you say like, yeah, they're total nerds, when in reality you play that stuff and nobody's watching, bro. Let's be honest.
Dude. No, I was telling
Why
you
did your eye twitch? That's your tell. That's when you lie. Your left eye every time. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, listeners, viewers, Super Gamer Boy fans, anytime the man tells a horrible, ridiculous lie, left eye twitches 3 times. Total tell. And you're like, liar. You're welcome, Garrett.
Yeah.
Now the world knows your secret.
Thanks. I can never play online poker again.
Never. Oh, dude, I'm so sorry. Did I ruin your poker game? Oh my gosh.
I was planning on going pro, but not anymore.
I am so sorry.
I've been going over a suit. I play under a pseudonym. Like I don't use my real name. Obviously, I have a fake name that I use online, but it's pretty obvious who I am. Super Gamer Boy Lover. 69. That's my name on there. So
whoa,
it's only a matter of time.
Whoa, you just totally took it to the dirty level, Garrett. Again, remember earlier, folks, when I said
are your fingers covered in Cheeto dust? They look super orange.
A little bit. There's a little bit of Cheeto dust. Okay. It's none of your business, dude. Sometimes I get hungry, and it helps to fuel me, and it fuels the energy that I bring to this show that is not here when I'm not here.
That Chester Cheetah energy.
Why does everybody call me that? Tired of everybody calling me that?
So this week, let me read this article. It's been 10 minutes and we haven't even talked about this news story. And this is the worst news story of the night. Like, I don't even want to talk about it. And that's
why I was talking about anything else but Pokemon.
I know. I'm trying to get through it and you're prolonging it. You're making it worse. I just want you to know
That's what I do for everything.
Making it worse. You're making my life hell. No. This week's Pokemon Presents live stream brought with it a single announcement that was focused on, for the full duration of the event, based on the popularity of its genre and the potential for millions of people to start playing it. This article, this doesn't make any sense anymore. I feel like...
Okay, first of all, millions of people are not going to play that. So just millions of people not going to play it.
unfortunately, you're wrong there.
I'm totally wrong, right?
I wish you were right. But
okay, mark the calendars, folks. I was wrong. First time ever. It'll never happen again. So this date, whatever the date is today in 2022, I am wrong. Wait. Okay.
So, are you calling me from the future? Do you know
I'm
things?
I'm calling you from the future. Yes.
Basically, it's going to be a free-to-play on Nintendo Switch and iOS and Android devices. We'll support cross-platform play. No release date given yet. It's a MOBA, so it's like if any of you have played League of Legends or Dota, it's the 3 lanes, top, mid, bottom. You fight each other. There's teams.
I was just going to tell you, don't forget the 3 lanes, Garrett.
What I was trying to tell you before that you so rudely interrupted me is I used to play like League of Legends in the past, but we were talking about before the show that like I was so terrible at it because I didn't understand it. Like I wasn't nerdy enough. Like I was like, I wanted to love it so much. Like I was at that level where like, no, I'm going to love this. I'm going to be like super into this. And I was so bad because I didn't understand any of it. Like you have to be a super nerd to play the game. I'm sorry. For all you people out there who play the game and love it, I'm sorry. Like it takes too much brain power.
Did you really just put the sentence together? I wasn't nerdy enough to play that.
I'm not saying, let me clarify. I'm not saying I'm not nerdy. I'm not nerdy enough for League of Legends. I'm not because it doesn't make any sense to me. Like I used to play with my friends and I just got my butt whooped over and over again. And I was always on their team and I always felt bad because they would just carry me through every game. There's kind of like how you feel like when we play Apex Legends together. That's how I felt with my friends. Yeah. Where basically I did nothing but die. Like I would like, hey guys, how's it going? Boom, dead. Like that was
that's
it. Like,
pretty much how. That's exactly how I play Apex when I play with you. That's exactly like that. I die immediately.
Yeah.
And thank you for bringing up that very, very painful memory, Garrett. I appreciate that.
Yeah. No worries.
Very sweet of you.
So yeah, the matches are 5v5, take place on a MOBA-like map, split into halves to represent your teams. Yeah, I feel like there's not much to this because we don't really know much either. They revealed some information, but at this point, it seems like it's still kind of earlier on in its development. It probably won't be coming out until next year or something like that. But for all you Pokemon fans out there, it's one of those things where like I do love Pokemon, and so I'm not gonna lie, I'll probably give this a shot, but I'm gonna play one round and be like, I suck at this game, and I'm gonna delete it off my phone immediately. So
yeah, I love that you said you're too nerdy to play the League of Legends game.
No, I'm not nerdy enough.
Or not nerdy enough. I just think
I'm not smart enough. Like I play the game. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. I'm not nerdy enough. Not smart enough.
I just think it's fantastic because you and Zetch are such nerds that me doing this show with you, it's the first time in my life that my nerdy butt is like, dude, I feel kind of like Frank Sinatra when I'm around these two guys. Like I feel like, and I think you kind of agree, I'm the cool one. I mean, dude, that's really saying something when I'm the cool one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. You keep telling yourself that.
It is what I tell myself.
You keep telling yourself that. But yeah. So for all you Pokemon / MOBA fans out there, whatever crossover there is of that, you're welcome, I guess. Have fun, have a blast. Meanwhile, I'm going to play one round, get my butt kicked, and be like, never again. Never do it again.
Yeah.
Next news story here comes from IGN. Matt Perslow over there writes, Halo Infinite, Banish confirmed in new teaser video. A new tease for Halo Infinite has confirmed that the Banished will be part of the long-awaited next game in the series. The short teaser video, which sees a communication device decipher a signal, features a gravelly voice delivering a message to humanity. And here's what that voice says. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Because if you're more in the Halo lore, it might make more sense to you. Or maybe you'll hear the voice and like recognize it. Because I think it's a character that was originally in the Halo Wars series. So it wasn't part of the mainline series. It's part of the Halo Wars, which was kind of like the real-time strategy game. So think like Age of Empires, or Civilization games, but with Halo instead, or like Command and Conquer. So the voice says, the hour approaches, forces occupy the ring. Within hours, it will be under our control. Humanity will burn. The brazen defiance will be all but a memory. No more prophets, no more lies. We stand together, brothers, to the end. We are his will. We are his legacy. We are the Banished.
That sounds like a MasterCard commercial.
No. We are MasterCard.
We are MasterCard.
So the Banished, here's a little history then for you guys who haven't played Halo Wars. The Banished are a mercenary organization set up after a rebellion on the Covenant Empire, the alien antagonist in the Halo series. They are largely made up of, I don't know how to pronounce that. They're better known as brutes, so to the humans, but also count many of the Covenant races among their ranks, including the Grunts, Elites, and Hunters. The Banished featured as one of the two main playable races in Halo Wars 2 alongside the human UNSC, and so the plot of Halo Wars 2 may have impact or be referenced in Halo Infinite. So basically what this is telling us is Halo Wars 2, which is a game on, I think that came on Xbox One and PC, the story from that might possibly tie into the mainline Halo series here. So if you haven't played Halo Wars 2, maybe it'd be worth going and brushing up on it to figure out who is the Banished and what's their deal over there. The audio references the Prophets, a leadership race of the Covenant, as well as mention that we are his will, we are his legacy. Who the he is in this is unclear, but it may potentially refer to Atriox, the leader of the Banished in Halo Wars 2. Brutes were not seen in enemies in Halo 4 or Halo 5, so this signals a welcome return for the fan favorites. Now, where's my gravity hammer? So that's what the article there says. But I don't know, it's just kind of exciting. Like I haven't played Halo Wars 2 there, so I don't necessarily know of the Banished or what their deal is. But as just like a video game fan in general and kind of hearing a little bit of this backstory, it just sounds super cool. Like they're so like extremist that they were even like kicked out of the Covenant. Like the Covenant's the bad guys in the Halo games. For those of you who don't know, haven't played Halo, and like they were so like extreme for the Covenant, they're like, no, we don't want anything to do with you. Go do your own thing. So they like started their own mercenary group outside of it. So I was like, man, they have like this super like radical, extreme, like I don't know, yeah, alien mercenary force kind of being like possibly the main antagonist in Halo Infinite. That sounds really cool. And plus the brutes are awesome as well. Like I played, let's see, I've played Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST, and then Halo Reach. Those are the only 3 Halo games I've ever played. And I think the brutes are in pretty much all of those, at least Halo 3 and ODST.
I've played a good amount of the Master Chief Collection and on the 360, and dude, really good games.
I don't think the Master Chief Collection's on 360.
Maybe it wasn't Master Chief. It was I played. No, I'm wrong. I played the first one, and then I played Reach.
Okay.
I had somebody give me the Master Chief Collection for Xbox, but I just had an Xbox 360 at the time, so I thought, and I wasn't able to play it on there. But when I do get my Xbox, which is still coming, it's in the mail. Should be here anytime now. Yeah. That's what they say. Stupid COVID. And then I'm going to gladly go through those games. You know, I tease a lot, you know, for some of my friends who are super Halo bro gamers. That whole bro gamer thing just isn't really up to me. I'm just not a big, huge fan of it. But the Banished thing looks amazing. I don't know anything about the backstory, but I like the gravelly voice and like the tough guy thing. Let's hope they can deliver.
Yeah, I just hope it makes for a really like, I don't know, like almost like they could make it like a grittier Halo. Like obviously I haven't played Halo Wars 2, so I don't know what the Banished are like, but just the fact that they're called the Banished makes it sound really intense. And like if they could almost come at it with like hey, we're doing like like a dark gritty take on Halo, and like it's like this intense like extreme like enemy, like that would be really cool.
Yeah. Silly coincidence. Wasn't that also the nickname of you and your friend group in high school, the Banished? I don't remember. I
didn't have friends in high school.
That's right. You didn't have. You know what? I'm sorry. That must have been her. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So let's get to the last news story. Let's get to this last news story.
Let's move on.
This is one you care about. This comes from IGN, written by Adam Bankhurst over there. Shout out to Adam. I follow him on Twitter. He follows me back. He's a pretty cool dude.
Wow.
So
Adam blocked me on Twitter for some reason. I don't know
I
why.
can't imagine why.
Yeah,
The Last of Us Part 2 is the fastest selling PS4 exclusive ever. The Last of Us Part 2 has officially sold through over 4 million copies as of June 21st, 2020, making it the fastest selling PS4 exclusive ever. Senior Vice President of PlayStation Worldwide Marketing at SIE, Eric Lempel, took to PlayStation blog to reveal the milestone, all but confirming that The Last of Us Part 2 has surpassed Marvel's Spider-Man as Sony's fastest-selling exclusive for the PlayStation 4 in its first 3 days. 3 days, and it sold over 4 million units. That's insane.
Heck yeah, dude.
Neil Druckmann, Vice President of Naughty Dog and Director of The Last of Us Part 2, also shared a message with the fans of the post-apocalyptic game we called a masterpiece. We are so immensely grateful to the millions of fans around the world that have played The Last of Us Part 2 and shared their experiences with us over the last week, Druckmann said. We set out to tell a new kind of story, one that deals with difficult themes and would challenge you in unexpected ways. Hearing how the experience has resonated with so many of you and witnessing the type of thoughtful discussions it has sparked has been so incredible. We've also been so inspired by your creativity, whether it's your gorgeous photo mode shots, jaw-dropping gameplay gifs, or the songs you've recorded using Ellie's guitar. The Last of Us Part 2 was made possible thanks to the efforts of the hundreds of talented and passionate developers here at Naughty Dog. We can imagine no greater honor than seeing that same passion mirrored by the people playing it. Thank you for helping us reach this amazing milestone. So, that's awesome.
Was there ever any doubt, Garrett? I mean, this game has taken the world by storm, and it actually, I know it kept getting postponed again and again. I want to say that I think that if it came out when we originally thought it was, back in like January, February, March area, that it would not have sold as well as it has right now. There's been more people who are stuck at home and who are dying for new, fresh content. And this is the first big AAA release during this whole pandemic. And I think that could really be a contributing factor. It's weird that it's getting a whole lot of negative crap, but that's not affected how many games are selling. You know, and I know we got one copy.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things like we met, like I think I talked with you earlier in the day about it, is there's this vocal minority on the internet. So like they're very loud and very like much like this game is trash, this game is garbage, they're review bombing. And they're just being very vocal with their post and sharing things and spoiling things in comments and posting GIFs and like, hey, this happens in the game, like spoiling stuff for people. But obviously this goes to show like, yeah, they really are like a vocal minority. Like there's not a lot, there's not as many as it seems like. It's easy to go on the internet and be like, everyone hates it. But then like you actually look at the sales numbers, because all these people too are just like, I'm canceling my pre-order. I'm not going to play this game. And it's like, oh, we did just fine without you. There must not have been that many of you guys. Like it seemed like there's a lot more than there were apparently, because still stealth over 4 million copies in 3 days. Like, okay, it killed it. And then even since people are playing it, it's been amazing to see the reception. Like it's been, like obviously there's some people who don't like it, but it's like, okay, like, yeah, they have some very like, very interesting reasons as to why they don't. And it's been kind of neat to see that discourse, but then a lot of people are loving it. But for just, it's crazy to see like all the many reasons people love it as well. Like there's tons of reasons why people don't like it, tons of people why they do like it. It's actually, it seems very rare, at least on social media, to see people have the same opinions, which is very cool. That's like, have this game and where everyone can have a completely different experience with it.
Yeah, I think you do need to be careful about your use of the word minority. You were kind of throwing it out there a whole lot right now, and you're going to get the social justice warriors all over you. The way you just keep, talking about the vocal minority, it's like, hey, they're human beings too, and they're just as important as us, Garrett. So you probably want to kind of what? I'm just saying, you want to probably pull back on that. Be sensitive if you can, because I don't agree with the way you're paraphrasing those words, and words can be very hurtful, Garrett. Okay. Just so you know.
So, okay, fine. I'm gonna go retweet then all the people who are saying how horrible this game is. Tell people not to play it then.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
But yeah, so I don't know. That was exciting. I'm excited. I haven't obviously played the game
Yeah.
yet because someone's just taking their sweet old time over there.
I said I'm
Playing
sorry.
it.
I've had to apologize to you like 5 times today because I'm not done with the game yet, and I'll say it again.
Come on,
here
JJ. It's
on
been
the
a
air.
week and a half. You should have had it done by now. It's been a week and a half.
You were trying to convince me to buy my own copy. You're like, hey, can't you just buy your own copy?
I talked to your wife even. I tried to convince your wife to buy you a copy too.
Yeah, and who does that? Who does that? Like, hey, go spend more of the man's money, so I can get my grubby mitts. And I don't even know why you'd refer to your own mitts as grubby. You know what I mean? They are. Okay, you might want to wash those. That's disgusting. There's hair on that one.
Garrett,
why do you have hair? Why do you have hair on that? It's weird. Unnatural. Move past it, Garrett. Don't rest on that. Just move past it.
You're just very
don't
distracted.
Smile. You're feeding
very
into
distracted
the joke.
tonight. It's very distracting to me.
I'm distracting to you. You're distracting me with your comments about minorities and stuff of that nature.
JJ,
I'm trying to talk video games, Garrett. I'm trying to talk video games, buddy. Let's stick to the task at hand and those news articles that I sent you. Let's get back to those.
Yeah, well, that was the last one.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. I think that's the last one that I sent you.
I was trying to talk about our Patreon, so.
Talk about the Patreon. I love that. It's my favorite part of the show. Go ahead.
Okay. It's part of the show where we're going to talk about our Patreon. Alrighty, so yeah, if you haven't already, go check out our Patreon, patreon.com/supergamerboys. JJ mentioned at the top of the show, so of course I know you went right away, looked it up online. You've probably already supporting us, but if for some reason you haven't, please go over there and check it out. I would just appreciate you even just to go look at it. You don't have to support us, just go take a look at it. And then maybe take a look at it the next day and the next day, and maybe one day you'll feel so inclined to give us a click on there. But no. But we have
support us on Patreon, and you can have Garrett. There's pictures of Garrett in a dress that is on there. If you support it, what? There's also he's got an apron on and nothing else. It's tasteful though. It's not naughty. I know what you're thinking. But you can get so much extra content by supporting us on Patreon. Remember we were talking extra content, Garrett? I figured out what we could do for extra content. You can support us for $1 a month. For merely $1 a month, you could feed 3 children in Africa, or...
Oh, I'm so thankful his microphone cut out right there. For just $1 a month, you can support us over there, and you can get episodes early and ad-free. You can, so tonight after we finish recording on Monday, I will post that up on Patreon. You can listen to it, enjoy it. JJ, you have no idea how happy I was that your internet cut out there. I was just such perfect timing. It was great.
I thought you hung up on me. I was helping the ad. For crying out loud. That was the greatest Patreon ad of all time.
So here's the deal. We want our ads to be as short as possible because we want people to continue to listen. And when you ramble, it goes on way too long and then people stop listening. And then they miss when you give your review of The Last of Us Part 2. Do you want them to listen to how your review's been? How your game has been? Yeah. Let's get through this part, huh? Yeah. Let's get through this part.
Okay.
Just $1 a month. You get those early episodes ad free. So without this part right here, you don't ever hear this again. Think about it. You can skip right by this, go straight to new releases. Never have to deal with JJ saying who knows what. It's. I wish I could record this podcast ad free. Let me tell you. The next tier, $5 a month, you get the show notes when I get around to making them. Sometimes it's Thursday, sometimes it's Sunday afternoon. Never know quite when I'm going to finish those up. But if you support us at $5 a month, you get not only the episode early, but also the show notes. You can take a look at what the show is going to be about. Leave your own comments, concerns, questions, if you have any opinions on what we're going to be talking about, answer the topic of the show, the question of the show, throw it all on the Google Doc there, and we'll talk about it on the episode. $10 a month. That is our sponsor level. JJ likes the sponsor level.
I do.
You get all the previous perks and a shout out on the show, just like our sponsors, Bill Bird, Julie Bates, Dustin Long, Brent Fox. You guys are awesome. And then there is the top dog Patreon tier, our Patreon producer over there. We have the one, the only Adrian Homeboy Holmes. He's killing it each and every month. Thank you so much for supporting us up there. And what that gets you is all the previous perks. You get the episodes early, ad-free. You get the show notes. You get the shout out on the show. And you get to pitch us segments if you want. Adrian's done a couple segments, I think, so far. He's shown us a news article. He had us do the Final Fantasy bit, which I actually missed that week. You and Zetch did a good job doing it. I realized I never responded to it. I don't have much Final Fantasy knowledge, though. I've only played Final Fantasy 7. So
we really appreciate Adrian's support. So I'm actually going to be going to Adrian's house and staying the next weekend. And I'm so excited, Adrian. And all I got to say is I like bacon. So just go ahead, and if you could load that up, I'll see you on Friday night. And I probably won't leave until Tuesday. That's why I'm saying I mean that's the next step in our friendship. Is he supports me every month on the show, and then I come and eat everything in his house, and then crap up the bathroom real bad.
The problem is you're saying that here during this ad break, and he'll never hear this because he's a Patreon supporter.
Oh, we need to send this to him then.
Okay. Well, I'm going to specifically email him the one with ads so he hears this part. So, Adrian, get ready because JJ's coming. I'll probably come too, and we'll hang out, have some breakfast all day.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, what do you say we finish what we normally call an ad break and get back to the show?
Okay.
Okay. Oh, time for new releases. Man, for you Patreon supporters out there, you're missing out on that ad break. Let me tell you, you should go to our regular feed, download the episode again, and listen to the ad break just because you just never know what's going to happen. You never know.
Yep.
It's not necessarily funny. It's not funny. It's just you just don't know what's going to happen. You just never know.
No. And I'm so surprised you were able to get your shirt back on so quickly after the ad break. Because, it escalated. It escalated so quickly. I didn't see it coming, but you're very quick with that. What exactly is in there? Is that vodka in that? Is that why you're being a little looser with your minority speak and all that other stuff that you're talking about?
JJ.
What? Wait,
I don't.
Was that on the ad? I don't remember.
No. So new releases here.
Move past it real quick. Run.
New releases. The only one that's coming out is Blair Witch on Switch. It came out June 25th. It was a totally random one, totally out of left field. I didn't realize it was coming to Nintendo Switch because that was was that 2 years ago? It came out on Xbox. That was 2018, I think. It came out on PC, Xbox, and PS4 because we played.
We had a Twitch stream. Yeah, we did a Twitch stream of. YouTube.
It was a YouTube. It was a Let's Play.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Right.
Or no, you know what? No, it wasn't 2 years. It was last year because it was when we did our Spooky Gamer Boys. Remember the first week we played Blair Witch, and then the second 4 weeks we did Man of Medan, and no one watched it.
Yeah, no, your grandma did. Grammy Bates.
Maybe the first episode, but
yeah.
So yeah, if you missed Blair Witch on Xbox, PS4, and PC, you can get it now on your Switch at a lower resolution and a bad frame rate. It makes it even scarier.
Yeah. You know what? Honestly, that's actually a really fun little game. I would never play it again, the Blair Witch game, but I couldn't see that game being on Switch. It just doesn't seem like it would fit.
Yeah, I don't know what that would be like, but I'm not going to try it either.
Yeah.
So let's get into what you've been playing here. So I'm gonna run first. I'm running first this week. Because I know you have The Last of Us Part 2 you've been playing. You're going to rub it in my face, talk about how amazing it is. I'm just going to sit here all jealous, wanting to play it. You're not going to let me play it. So here's what I have been playing, since you won't let me play Last of Us Part 2. I finally finished Super Mario Maker 2, Nintendo Switch, came out. I think that was from last summer. I started it, and it was one of those games I did not realize I had like a couple levels left, and I beat it. So I jumped in there, finished it off.
I told you folks, you're a game finisher. I've always said that about you. I've said, like, Garrett finishes game. I'm like, he's a real gamer.
That's all I do. That's all I do is finish games.
That's
now,
what you do.
Let me tell you this, though. I didn't finish just one game. I finished the second one, too. Oh. I played Super Mario Odyssey, which came out, came out the first year the Nintendo Switch came out, 2017. That's an older game. It took me a while to beat. What I didn't realize, again, I was on like the last level. It took me like 30 minutes, knocked it out, beat the game. So that's 2 games I beat. But let me tell you, I didn't beat just 2 games. I beat 3 games. I finished The Last of Us, remastered on PS4. And let me tell you, that game is still amazing, just as amazing, if not more so than when I first played it. Especially since, I played it. Yeah, I mean, I've talked about it a million times on the podcast. Back when it first came out, forever ago, hardly remember it, hardly remember the ending. And playing through it, I'm like, holy cow. Like, I do not remember it ending like that. There was dialogue I missed. There was just certain circumstances that, played out that I did not remember. I'm like, holy cow, I don't remember that happening, or that person doing this or that, or saying this or the other thing. And dude, like finishing up, it immediately was like, I need to play the second one. Like, that's what's kind of got me so amped up. Because I know on last week's episode, I was like, yeah, I'm enjoying The Last of Us, and I've been streaming it a little bit. But, and I'm excited about The Last of Us Part 2, but I feel like I don't need to play it right now. I think you've even said a couple times, I can wait for the PS5 version. But after finishing The Last of Us, I'm like, no deal. There's no way I can wait. I need to play The Last of Us 2.
So the guy who never finishes games finished 3 games this week, dude? Like, how is that possible?
Here's the thing. I finished a 4th game. I finished 4 games. And I'm being very generous with this 4th game. But technically, it is a standalone game. In the description, it says it is a standalone game. I finished Left Behind, which is a DLC for The Last of Us. So really, it's only like a 2-hour experience. But I had never played that before. This was my first playthrough of The Last of Us, or not Left Behind, it's called. It came out. I forget when it came out in comparison to when the actual game came out, but it was a standalone DLC. I remember it was like $15 or something like that. You didn't have to have the base game to play it. Like, you could just buy it, download it on your PS3 and play it separately. It was a separate download and everything, separate game. But it was one of those things where I saw it, and back then when I was just a stupid kid and had beat The Last of Us, I was just like, I don't need more of the story. I don't really care. That story was whatever. Now playing it, I finished The Last of Us. I'm like, I need to play Left Behind like immediately. Yeah. So it was like a couple days later. I had some free time. I sat down and I beat it in about 2.5 hours. So it's not super long. But dude, like, it's so good. Like, it tells a story. It just does something. I don't want to spoil it for other people. I know it's like 7-8 years old now, but for people who haven't played Left Behind, the DLC for Last of Us, you really need to go play it, because I thought I knew what it was about.
Excellent.
I thought I knew what it was about, and then when I jumped in, I'm like, oh, okay, I did not expect the storytelling to be that. Like, the way they lay out the story that I thought was going to be told, they laid it out in a way that I wasn't expecting, and it's really good. And got me. It ended, and I'm like, Last of Us, you got me again. Like, at the end of the first one, I just like a dagger in the heart. The end of, like, it was only like a 2.5 hour game, and it just like, boom, it hits you where it hurts. And I'm just like, dang it, really? Like, yeah, that's how you're going to do me right now.
Keep in mind, you played it, 6 or 7 years ago, and you have shaped into it.
Not Left Behind. No. I played The Last of Us, so yes.
The Last of Us. And you've shaped into a different person than you were 6 or 7 years ago. Now you're a father. And it does really add a different facet of being able to look at the game. As a parent, having a young child, like you will definitely, just like the game God of War, you're going to play it differently. You're going to look at it and view it differently than you would if you're a teenage boy. Or even
okay. I was in my 20s. I wasn't a teenage boy.
You were still pretty much a teenage boy.
I was like 20. I was exactly 20 years old.
Technically still a teenager. Like, I mean,
okay.
Just saying.
But
you didn't even have any facial hair yet. I saw the picture.
There's I still
you did.
barely
You
have
did
it.
come out with the silly, Joe Dirt mutton chops that you were born with. But other than that, there was like no mustache.
Once a redneck, always a redneck, Yep. So after beating all 4 of those games this last week, I also then decided, because we had that discussion a couple weeks ago when the PS5 reveal event happened, that, hey, Ratchet and Clank that came out in 2016, like the reboot game, was really good. Everyone kept saying that, and everyone told me that, and Zetch said that. So many people said that, like, previously. I'm like, okay, I'm going to jump into it then. It was a PlayStation Plus free game a couple years ago, so I already owned it. I got it for free through PlayStation Plus, so I re-downloaded it, and I've played probably about 4 hours of it, maybe 5, and not quite that much, maybe closer to 4. And I'm actually really enjoying it. It's a good game. It's a fun game. It definitely was a very huge swing to go from The Last of Us to Ratchet and Clank.
You're talking 2 totally different genres. They're completely different in every way. Yeah.
So I was telling Trudy that I'm just like, so I went from like this dark, gritty, extremely serious like game that's like not necessarily meant to be fun, but it's supposed to be an incredible story, to like this game where the story is just like, what the heck, like goofy, silly, stupid, pointless, unnecessary.
I think goofy, stupid, silly, pointless is usually pretty dang good. I'm just saying. I'm not even talking about video games right now.
It's a case-by-case basis. Case-by-case basis.
A little hurtful, but okay.
But like the gameplay itself is fun, like the platforming and jumping around and doing that stuff. So it's like, it's fun enough to play, even though like I don't care about the story necessarily. It's just kind of like goofy and silly. And I think any other day I might care a little bit about the story, but coming from The Last of Us, I'm just like, oh, this is a little much, a little cheesy. Like there's a lot of cheesy moments where they're trying a little too hard to be goofy or silly or like funny. And it's like, no, not quite hitting it, but maybe I'm just sour because I'm still like in the back of my mind, like this, I just played this dark brooding game, and
why when you said that?
Thing.
Why when you said that did you lock eyes on me when you said trying too hard to be silly and goofy, and like you gave me like the hardest eye contact, like I thought like you were looking into my soul right now, and I'm like,
into the camera.
Yeah, you were like looking right in, and I'm like, whoa, that kind of hits home a little bit there, buddy. Dude, I'm really highly impressed that you finished 4 games this week, man. Not that you couldn't do it, I believed in you the whole time, champ, but how the heck did you find time with a second kid on the way? And I understand your in-laws are in town right now. Are you just hiding out, man? Are you're not visiting and you're just hiding out playing video games? It's cool. Just tell me. Trudy, I'll never know.
No, so here's the trick is, like I said, all of those games, I didn't realize it. I was only like a level or 2 away from finishing it up. So like Mario Maker 2, I finished on a couple lunch breaks at work. Mario Odyssey took me 1 lunch break at work. Last of Us, that one took a couple hours one night, but Trudy had some other projects he was working on. So I'm like, sweet. I'm going to go play some video games for 6 hours tonight. So it's like 2 in the morning. Yeah, so it's been, it's definitely still a challenge to play games, but it felt good. I was like, okay, I've finally gotten some of those games off my backlog. Everyone has that pile of shame, and I've had those there where I started them and never finished them. I said I would, and so I finally finished them. I'm like, oh man, weight lifted off my shoulders. Like, feels so good to finally be able to breathe again a little bit, until, now I have Last of Us I need to play, and Ghost of Tsushima I need to play, and Cyberpunk. I think about like Cyberpunk coming up. They just, that's something I just realized we didn't even put in the show notes. They had a big reveal event for Cyberpunk. They revealed a bunch of new gameplay and stuff like that. Basically, here we go. Rewind, nerdy nudes. They did a big reveal. The gameplay that they showed they showed one aspect of the gameplay, and it actually looked really bad. They said it's a very small part of the game, but it still is like, oh, that doesn't look fun. But the game itself looks so stinking beautiful, and the shooting looks amazing. But I think they're going to be doing more of those reveals. So when they talk about maybe something a little more substantial or at least exciting to us, we'll talk about it. But I still can't wait for Cyberpunk. But it's just like thinking about all these games that are coming up. It's like, oh man, dude, like my backlog's just going to get so big again. It's scary. But what have you been playing?
Okay, so it is no question that I have been playing Last of Us 2. So I had a weekend where my whole family went to LA for the weekend. It was just me sitting around. I had on tidy whitey underwear. I don't even own a pair, but I picked some up just so I could sit in them all weekend long. I didn't change them once for luck. I'm just saying. And they do have some like Cheeto stains because I had like the giant family size. They say family size, it's not truly family size bag of
Did you have
Cheetos.
was it Cheetos or those cheese balls? Because I saw at Walmart the other day. I was at Walmart in Patterson, and they had
Uh-huh.
the big barrel of cheese
Of
balls, and
the cheese balls.
I almost bought it because it's like it's bigger than me, and like
Yeah,
$2, and I almost want to buy it
right.
and just keep it at the office, so when I'm bored, I can like do the whole thing, like chuck it up in the air and try to catch it in my
Yeah.
mouth, or when you walk in, I can chuck one in your mouth, even though you don't eat it because you're on keto. You can spit it out
Yeah.
immediately in the trash can.
Mm, yeah, I would totally spit it out. But like no, in my fantasy of the Cheetos, it was actual Cheetos.
Okay,
So yeah,
okay.
no,
Now
and
here's an important
not
question.
the puffs, not the puffs. No, we're
Okay,
talking
see,
the crunchy.
you
You know what I
you
mean?
prefer
Like
crunchy over puffs.
yes, and even a little bit of like the spicy, the hot,
So
flaming Cheetos,
flaming hot.
flaming
Okay,
hot. Yeah, I
okay.
like spice. I
Yeah,
don't know why. I like
me
a little
too.
bit of bite. Sometimes I'll accidentally rub my eye. My eye will burn a little bit. So this time around, I'm wearing the tidy whities. I'm eating the Cheetos, the flaming hot Cheetos. I'm wiping them on the underwear. Nothing else on because it's hot in the house because the AC is broken. And so I am playing this game, and I got to tell you, I absolutely love it. It's such a pretty game. It's so beautiful. The story's been incredible. I know there's a lot of flack right now. Everybody's saying I don't like some of the woke, stuff that's the background stuff, or it's all about like the social justice stuff and all that. I don't want to comment on a lot of that stuff. I've seen pieces of that through my gameplay, some of that kind of stuff. I don't really get too bent out of shape about that kind of stuff. I
Hmm.
look at it and I'm just like, okay, I can like take it or leave it. I'm into the gameplay. I'm into the story, and the story that I'm being told through everything with Ellie, with Joel, with everything. The story that I'm being told is so intriguing to me, and I'm so invested in the characters that are in this game. I'm carrying over a lot of love from the first game. This game is delivering on a lot of different levels for me. There's
Yeah.
so much more depth to this game. Real quick, a lot of people are claiming it's just a brutal, which it is, a brutal revenge story, right? So that's like one of the things that like people are kind of jumping all over. And I got to tell you, that is a giant piece of it is revenge. Okay. Um, there's so much more to it than that. And it's hard to explain without spoiling things or ruining it for somebody who hasn't played. I know there's a lot of spoilers out there. I choose to not be that person. I went into it purposely avoiding every kind of spoiler because I didn't want any of that ruined for me. I wanted to go into it with fresh eyes and enjoy. There's so much depth to this game. I think that revenge is a part of it. Okay, there's got to be a part of it to this game. There's killing zombies and there's brutalness, but there's growth and they're seeing things from different people's perspectives. And I think sometimes we get into these zones where we just see things from our perspective. And when we are just seeing things from our perspective, it's hard to realize that maybe that guy cut me off a moment ago and he's a butthead. What a complete butthead. But maybe in his mind, he cut us off because he's trying to rush to the hospital and his wife is dying. So in his mind, he's the good guy of his story. And I only bring that up because there's always different perspectives. And so I think there's so much more depth to this than revenge. Revenge is part of it, but I love this game. And I think that for people who automatically hear a little bit of spoilers and kind of crap all over it, you're not giving the proper breath to how amazing this game is and the story that can be told. It's a video game. Lose yourself in it. Be entertained. Enjoy. Don't crap over the little things and the nuanced stuff that, oh, well, that means this, and I don't agree with that, and this means that, and I don't agree with that either. Guess what? I don't agree with a lot of the stuff in the game. That's just it. I'm a Christian man, and I don't agree with some of the themes that are in the game, but I choose to see past it. And I know that it's not brainwashing how I think. It's not changing who I am. I'm enjoying it for what it is. A really beautiful game. And I implore you, if you haven't already picked up a copy, pick one up. Garrett, you probably should go and buy your own. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to have to happen because I have a feeling you're never giving back the Super Gamer Boys copy. So
probably not going to happen. I wouldn't hold my breath, Garrett, because I've seen you turn blue before, and it looks weird because you do look like a messed up Smurf when it happened.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I like what you said there. That's good because from different things I've heard, and unfortunately I've had some of the story and stuff spoiled for me. But even just like hearing people who have finished the game and some of their like critiques and criticisms and thoughts and what they liked about it and different things as well is, I think you're kind of spot on that. There's just so much more to the story. Like people, again, who like saw the leaks and saw different things and are all like outraged by what they think the story's about is so different than like what actually the game story is about. If you're willing to give it a chance kind of thing, if you're willing to give it that chance and actually like experience it, like you said, like just experience it. And there's so much more depth to it than, probably could ever imagine. So that's why I want to jump into it, is because it's like, okay, like I've heard all these great things, even though I might know some of the things that could possibly happen. Even still, like I don't have the context to some of those things. I know like different things happen, and okay, what's the context and what leads to that? And that's what I can't wait to dive into, because I've just heard so much positive, and even the people who are down on it too. It really has been interesting to hear. Like, okay, like, yeah, there is some interesting takes out there for why it's negative. So it's even more has me excited. Like I can't wait to jump into it and be able to make my own opinion, because it is such a deep game that a lot of people that I've seen their opinions, like there's very different reasons why people love it, very different reasons why people hate it, and so it just has me more interested than anything. Like, okay, like what is this about? Like, what is this enigma that's The Last of Us Part 2 that, everyone sees it so differently. Like everyone can come away with a completely different, takeaway on the story. So, it's cool. Cool. Let me look at our time here. Yeah, we got time for it. Do you want to do the question of the show here?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Is it the question that I sent you earlier? Because when I sent you all the news articles,
yep. 100%. The one that you sent me,
or is it the one that you sent me, and you said, "Hey, think about this," and I never looked at I probably should have opened that email. Sorry, man. I'm really probably busy. I was busy today. I didn't even go to work today. I just stayed at home all day, but I was extremely busy. So
playing The Last of Us Part 2, huh?
I was playing The Last of Us.
So here's the question of the show. Our video, and this, I made this one up. So if you guys have questions out there, write them in, please. You can send them to us through our website. We have a contact form on there. On social media, just send us a direct message, or you can actually go to supergamerboys.com/Discord. Join our Discord there. We have a lot of fun during the week, chit-chatting about what we've been playing, what we're watching, other dumb stuff going on that we want to talk about. It has nothing to do with video games. And there's also a channel on there to submit questions and topics for the show. So please go over there, because we don't have any. Like I ran out, and so I had to make up my own. So this is from yours truly. But honestly, I didn't make it up. A lot of people have been discussing this in the podcast realm. A lot of the shows I've been listening to have had similar conversations. So I was like, oh, perfect. Let's throw it on our show and see what we have to say. Unfortunately, Setch isn't here.
It's called stealing. But I just want you to know that it's theft.
It's not like one person copyrighted it. There's been like 30 podcasts that have talked about this. So all 29 of those other podcasts are stealing too?
They are also stealing. And as I recall, the Bible says, "Thou shalt not steal."
Steal podcast questions.
Thou shalt not steal podcast questions. That's It's towards the back of the Bible. It's one of the last Thessalonians.
Yeah. Here's the question of the show. Excuse me, I just inhaled a bug. I'm out in my garage.
You probably should have pest control if you inhaled the bug right now. I know a guy.
No, pest control doesn't do anything for gnats. I've talked to a guy.
That's right.
Are video games supposed to be fun? With all the controversy around Last of Us 2, I thought this would be interesting to share our own opinions. So, JJ, do you think video games are supposed to be fun?
It's actually a really good question. Who came up with that again?
Thanks.
You?
I wrote it myself.
Yeah, that's pretty darn good. Actually, it is a very good question because I think that, and I haven't heard anybody talk about it, but I remember having one of my nephews said, like, not all games should be fun. They're not all supposed to be fun. And so it's an interesting question because a lot of people will play games to have fun. I don't mean just video games. The whole intention of playing games is to have a good time, right? I think video games don't have to be fun though. I think that if it's done right, it makes you feel things, right? And so I like to have fun. There's games that I play and I have a blast with, but there's also games that I play that aren't fun, that maybe make me have some emotions that strike in me, emotions that feel very strong at that moment. They make you think, they make you feel. I don't think
JJ, they're called video games. Shouldn't they be fun or games, right?
See, I think that's kind of a silly way to look at it. It's more like beautiful art. It's like if you watch like a movie like The Joker, right? If you go watch the movie The Joker, you went and saw it with me. We saw it in the theater.
Perfect comparison, yeah.
Right. This is, how did you feel? Did you have fun watching that movie? I thought that Joaquin Phoenix, no, you didn't, and neither did I. I thought that Joaquin Phoenix won the Oscar, and he absolutely deserved it.
100%.
It was beautiful what he did.
Yeah.
But it made you feel. You didn't have a fun time. It was art. It was hard. It was harsh. It was brutal. It was deep. That's what, when you're playing a really good game, kids want to have fun, right? I want to have fun. I will play games that are fun, and that's what I'm looking for. But I don't think that they necessarily have to be. I think that the best kind of games are art. The best kind of games make you feel immense feelings, that make you think immense thoughts, where you're like, wow, that thing blew me over. I can't believe I saw those sights. And I was standing on the edge of a cliff and looking down and the vistas that I saw. It's artistic. It's beautiful. And if you're feeling like scared, oh my goodness, I'm going to fall. Yeah, it might be fun to you. It's not going to be fun to me because I don't want to fall. But I can enjoy it for what it is and get lost in it. And I think that's what I look for in games. I'm not a bro gamer, man. So somebody who plays Halo, somebody who's playing Call of Duty, they might think differently than me. I want to play a game that's fun. Me, I don't think they necessarily have to be. But
yeah,
you're talking to a 41-year-old man, not a 12-year-old boy. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much in line with you too. I feel the same way. Or like, and not to say I don't like fun games once in a while. Like that's why I'm playing Ratchet and Clank. Like it definitely isn't making me think or feel, but it's fun to play. And I'm enjoying playing through it. But yeah, there's definitely times where it's like, no, I want to get a story that makes me think, or gives me an interesting story, or gives me an interesting point of view that I'd never thought of, or an interesting character to kind of like, you know, think over and be like, oh wow, like the development of this character over the course of this game or these couple games or whatever is like, it's very interesting. Like it's fun to analyze things. Like it's in our kind of human nature to like think and analyze things. Like
people have been trying to do it to me forever, and they can never figure me out. They're always trying to analyze me. And one time they tried to analyze me, but we'll talk about that on another show.
Oh, no.
What?
But So yeah, I totally.
You just passed right over. Don't.
Yeah, but you also just made me totally lose my train of thought. But so thanks for that one. But no, like yeah, I'm with you there. Like video games can be fun, and in some cases they should be fun. But then I also think there's cases where they very much can and should be, not fun, especially if there's like either an important message or at least an interesting story that we can, discuss and analyze, like The Last of Us Part 2. Like I feel like it's causing a lot of interesting discussions now, and because everyone, like we've mentioned earlier, is taking away something so completely different. Like some people play it and see just this, and the next person plays it and sees just this, and then someone else sees it and sees just this, and there could be like 6 or 7 different things that they all come away with, and when they all come together and have that discussion, it's like so cool to see that all put together and be like, oh man, like I didn't pick up on that. That's interesting. Or oh, like when you put these 2 pieces together, like, oh man, that arc there, like I didn't see it before, but with what I saw and what you saw, when you actually put it together, like whatever, and whether it's The Last of Us or whether it's any game, like it could be God of War, it could be Horizon Zero Dawn, it could be, I don't know, I'm trying to think of other like big AAA, like more like story focused single player games, because generally those are the ones that are more thought provoking, the stories and stuff like that, and yeah, like that's I crave those as well. Like I love a good thinker, a good story. That's, again, like we've talked about it to death on our podcast, but that's why I go with Sony and PlayStation, because it's like, okay, they're providing those for me, where Xbox, not that they don't necessarily have them, but they're a little few and far between compared to Sony, where they come out with 2 or 3 of those a year, where it's like, okay, we're going to give you this big AAA game that has like a story that's really going to wow you, whether it's, sometimes it has both. Sometimes it is like the thinker and the art piece with the fun gameplay, but I don't think it's necessary. Just like art, like not all art is necessarily like, oh man, that's gorgeous and beautiful, but like you can
think about the Mona Lisa. Think about the Mona Lisa, like a lot of people wouldn't look at it and say like, oh, she's so immensely gorgeous and beautiful, but it's an incredible art, Mm-hmm. It's interesting. Zech Keenan, the other host of our show, said on Discord, he asked like, hey, trying to get feedback, what do you guys think about Last of Us 2 other than JJ, right? Which was a fantastic question. I was like, oh, he wants to see about smart people's interpretations and not my blinded, the blind loyalty. But interesting enough, we've had a couple of our listeners that talked about on Discord, at Dan Jam Gent, who's one of our good buddies from Wales, who listens to the show, great listener and good friend of the podcast. And he had finished it, and he said, like, don't really know what to think right now, that, and I find that to be interesting, because I'm feeling some of that, where I'm like, there is a lot of stuff going on with it. I've already been through some really emotional times in the game, and they are hard to process through. But no, I don't. As far as your question, I don't think the games have to be fun. I think that they have to make you feel. Is some of them being fun a benefit? Absolutely, absolutely. But I don't think it's a necessity.
Yeah. Cool. Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you so much to, wow, having a hard time talking again. It's hard to talk. I ran out of coffee. Thank you so much for a little bit of vodka. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast this week. Very much appreciate it. You guys taking the time to listen to a couple of dummies on podcast or on YouTube. You can, if you would so kindly, go check us out, patreon.com/supergamerboys. You can support us over there. Remember, just $1 a month, you can get tonight's episode the day we record it, that night. I upload it with no ads, so you get it early, ad-free. supergamerboys.com/store. You can go over there and get some sweet merch. I was drinking my coffee out of my mug today, our mug. This is the old version, just as me and JJ. The new one has a little Zech on there. I didn't mean.
I like how you called him little.
I really didn't mean.
Yes.
I really didn't mean to call him little, but I mean, we're all little. Look at this. We're all little guys on there. our little animated versions of us.
The 8-bit Super Gamer Boys, yeah.
Exactly. Remember, you can rate and review us over on iTunes if you can. You can rate and review us anywhere. That'd be fantastic. But iTunes is one of those that really matters and gets us up in the ranking on the list, so more and more people can find us. So if you have an Apple product, Mac, iPhone, iPod, iPad, whatever it is, go over to the podcast app on there. Give us 5 stars if you'd like. If you, I would prefer you give us 5 stars. I guess you can give us whatever you want, but if it's less than 5 stars, just forget I'm about to say any of the rest of this, but you can leave a review over there and write up something on there so people will come check us out. You can find us throughout the week on supergamerboys.com, Twitter and Instagram at supergamerboys, facebook.com/supergamerboys. I am on Twitter at gmorlang. JJ is over on the Twitter.
I'm on the Twitter at JJ Purdom, and make sure to go give our other co-host, Zetch Keenan, a follow over on Instagram at instagram.com. And I think he's at Zetch Keenan.
Yeah, at Zetch Keenan, right? And then he also has at nerd_dads for some fun, nerdy dad, content, a little more fatherhood-based memes and goofs and stuff like that. It's kind of fun.
And he'll be back on the show next week, and he smartens it up tremendously. So we do need him back on the show for the smart quotient.
Yeah. Thank you so much to Star Andrews for our logo. Check her out on Instagram at groundfloorgraphics and facebook.com/groundfloorgraphics. And that is our show.
That is our show. And next week, we're going to be dressed like pirates. As a matter of fact, I've already got the handkerchiefs folded. So, and we will be wearing eye patches next week. I'm going to give you
Super Pirate Boys.
The Super Pirate Boys will be back next week, ladies and gentlemen. My name is JJ Purdom. That there is the captain of this ship. His name is Garrett Morlang. We are the Super Gamer Boys.
And we will catch you on the flippity flop. Arrgh.
Good stuff.
Cool.